Hello everyone! Welcome back to more Ocarina of Time. So I probably, said what happened in the last episode, like in an overdub or something. But just in case I didn't, I know that I have to go in and edit that file to fix it. But luckily, it was only a small section, as you may have seen. So what happened was, on my stream deck. Oh! Sorry, Serene. I'm going to interrupt you in your story. Did you learn an Ocarina song from Zora? That melody seems to have some mysterious power. There may be some other mysterious songs like this that you can learn in Hyrule. If you hold the Ocarina with C where a melody is necessary, a musical staff will appear. I recommend you play a song you know. I also suggest that you play even when the score is not displayed. Just like this. Hoo-hoo-hoo, hoot-hoot-hoot. Do you want to say it again? Melodies you have learned will be recorded on the quest status subscreen. You should memorize those melodies. Right, so what happened was, and again, I know I probably said this in overdub, but I'm gonna say it here because I might forget the exact specifications for when I go back and edit it later. But basically, I have the voice clips button where I can do
I do this.
Or
fine dining.
And even
wow.
And a couple of others. Well, that's on page 2 of the Steam Deck. And so, in the previous episode, I hit the
I do this.
And then I hit the back button to switch back to page 1 of my Steam Deck. The same spot where the back button was also the mute button on OBS. And so I'm guessing I accidentally hit it twice somehow. And then, obviously I didn't notice. That said, to prevent that possibility from happening, I have gone and removed the mute button because, let's be honest, I don't use that anymore. Oh, it just skipped over that. Alright. The whole reason for that was my old stream outro. I would hit that button, and what would happen is it would switch to another scene, like say this. And when it switched to that scene, it was like an outro scene, and it would be like, hey, the stream is ending, yada yada. But then it also played like a song through OBS. And so I would hit the button that mutes the audio to OBS. The desktop audio, as it's listed as. That way it would not play any other sound. It would only play what OBS itself was playing. But I don't do that anymore, so I don't even need the button. Alright. We just skipped that. I guess I have the auto skip on for this. This is fine. So at some point before that goes up, I will have to record a quick, well, not quick, but like a 20 to 30 minute voiceover You know, to be like, hey, you know, this is what happened. And if I don't actually explain the exact, because like maybe I forgot the exact by that point when I do record it, now you know. This, you know, this episode, now you know what happened. So, you know, say a song. We should be friends. Take this. Heart piece. So yeah, in case, you know, like I forgot the exact specifics and don't mention it, that's what happened. You know, it sucks, but at least, you know, having gone back and double checked, I know that I don't have to record all 2 hours, and that is that is alright. A surrender! Enable your quest. To make your quest easier, I can enable you to pick up more Deku sticks. It'll cost 40 rupees. Thank you very much. Now, I don't know if I'll go in and add, like, music to it, or if I'll just, like, try to just, like, overdub and come up with things to say during the period. You know. But, either way, you know, sorry, I guess. That, like, you know, 25 minute or so period, like, broke the way it did. So, I had literally no idea that happened. So, I literally was saying something, I looked over at the freaking stream for just a second, and then went like, wait. Because I realized that the freaking audio was muted. I'm just glad, though, that it was only that short of a time. Because I was worried that it would be like, oh, it's been muted since freaking, you know, 2 or 3 recordings ago. But it wasn't. So I don't have to worry about, you know, losing the freaking footage. Or I guess in that case it would be losing the audio for, freaking, you know, everyone's golf. So. I wasn't planning on recording a second episode tonight, but I am now. And I'm thinking that these can be about 2 hours long. If the audio hadn't crapped out, I probably would have gotten to Dodongo's Cavern. And then... Come on, come on, come on! Hot! What a hot beat! Whoa! Yeah! Yahoo! I probably would have, like, gotten to Dodongo's Cavern, and I would have been like, alright, we're here. And, you know, save and quit, you know, kind of thing. Hey, what a nice tune. Just like that, my depression is all gone. Something just came over me. Suddenly wanted to dance like crazy. Boy, I sure wish that I could just freaking have that. I am Dorina. I'm the big boss of the Gorons. Was there something you wanted to ask me about? Dorina is a joke from freaking one of the other from a Zelda fan game. If you haven't watched my what is it? What is it? Fallen Sage. Legend of Zelda Fallen Sage playthrough. It's an old RPG Maker game that's like literally utter crap, but has like a really good story because the creator was actually like a really good storyteller. It was just programmed terribly and has all kinds of freaking like typos and stuff. Well, one of the typos is Dorina instead of Dorunia. And I made that a big joke. Dorina! So now every time there's Dorunia, I have to say Dorina at least once. What? You want the Spiritual Stone of Fire too? Spiritual Stone of Fire, also known as the Gorons Ruby, is our race's hidden treasure. But hold on, I'm not going to give it to you that easily. If you want it so badly, why don't you go destroy the monsters? Excuse me, inside of Dodongo's cavern and prove you're a real woman. That way, everyone will be happy again. If you do it, I will give you anything you want, even the Spiritual Stone. I have something for you. I'm not really giving you this in return for anything, but take it anyway. If you wear this, even a little lass like you can pick a bomb flower using A. You got Goron bracelet! Ta-da! So here's a little bit of trivia for you. If you don't have the Goron bracelet, or, you know, strength, progressive strength upgrade 1, as it's known as, because that's how the strength upgrades actually work. It's not like they're not giving you the like Goron bracelet, you know. I mean, maybe they are, even in like maybe they are in like this, but at least in the randomizer, you know, it's progressive. Frickin' heck. Even with always win on, I can't freaking win it. Because the freaking pot, I can't get it into the pot. Boom. I'm gonna give that one more try, but honestly, this is way easier if you just use bombs. And so it might just be better for me to come back after the Dodongo's Cavern for this. Got him! Nailed it! Which side will it be? You got a heart piece, but it's covered up by the red rupee. So you can't actually see it. That's funny. Alright, now it can go up. But yeah, so if you don't have the Goron bracelet, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. You know, for those who haven't watched my randomizer streams where I comment on this each time, if you don't have the Goron bracelet, when you get to the Forest Temple, you cannot push the blocks in the Forest Temple. It's quite funny, actually. There you go. I fixed it. Darn it. I missed the jump just freaking slightly. It's fine though. But yeah, when I played this game originally for the first time, I encountered a small bug. And that bug caused me to be able... Looks like there are many lava pits around here. Watch your step. It caused me to be able to skip way ahead in the game. And so I got to the forest temple without ever actually doing Dodongo's cavern or the you know, Jabu Jabu's belly. And so because I never did any of that stuff, I never had the strength, the bomb bracelet, the Goron bracelet. Freaking A, dude. Goron bracelet. I didn't have that. And so, like, I was trying to, like, get through it, and I couldn't. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'm, like, missing something, because freaking, you know, I can't push the blocks. So I looked it up. And every guide was just like, oh yeah, just push the blocks, forehead. And I'm like, but you can't! I don't understand. So you a Deku shield. Nah. I'm going home then. As it turns out, it wasn't that I, you know, was doing something wrong. You know, it was that I was missing a crucial item, and people back then probably just had no idea that it was that crucial. Plus also, like, a lot of strategy guides, right? Like, they're written with the idea that you're following the strategy guide from freaking the beginning. And so, like, they'll just be like, hey, you know, just do this. Because they just expect that you already did the other part earlier. So, like, you know, they just expect that you know what you need to do. You know, that, like, they just expect that, you know, you've done all the things properly. Some of the, like, the Zelda dungeon, some of the, like, Zelda dungeon strategy guides are written with the express view that you followed their guide. Because they'll just be like, oh yeah, you remember that area you opened up before? And it's like, no. Because I have not been following your guide since freaking stage 1. Freaking, could you maybe not, like, have the guide designed that way? Like, I come to find out what to do in the moment when I am struggling. I don't sit here and play the entire game with the guide, you know? Assume that I am just now looking at the guide for the first time. Or add like a thing that's like, if you didn't do this, go back to, you know, because freaking it's so annoying. Bring it on. Anybody remember the really good, like, Lizalfos battle theme from Skyward Sword? Like, it's so good. Let's see. Do I have... I used to have a Zelda folder, and I still do. Skyward Sword. All 177 tracks of it. Of course, if I'm gonna find the battle against Lizalfos, there it is. This theme. I love this theme, man. Cut that down for just a moment. Hopefully it's not too loud. I have it down really low on my side. Like, say what you will about Skyward Sword, the game, but the music is fantastic in that game. I think honestly, it is one of the better soundtracks. Again, Dodongo. My favorite part, though, is right here. The ending, essentially. Like, I really like the way that it ends. Whoops. Yes, I know. It's not F1 anymore. Freaking... I'm fully aware of that. I'm just used to hitting F1, so I still do it. Like I said, say what you will about Skyward Sword, like, the game. Like, I think it absolutely deserves all the criticism it gets. But what I will not allow is the shaming of the music. The music in Skyward Sword freaking rocks, dude. Like, there's so many good tracks in Skyward Sword. So, yeah, I don't know that I would say that Skyward Sword has the best soundtrack, but I would say that it has one of the best soundtracks. So, like, I tried to make a Zelda fan game a long time ago. And in it, I actually used the Lizalfos battle theme from Skyward Sword for, well, Lizalfos fights. Because I freaking loved the theme. The theme was really good. You know, I liked it. And, you know, there were some Lizalfos battles that were kind of, you know, like, they were, like, there was, like, a dungeon or something, that was, like, mostly just fights against the Lizalfos. And so, like, when you were fighting them, I used that theme. And I don't know, it's just a really good theme. You know? Also, I probably should upgrade to the freaking Hylian shield now. I do think I set the Deku shield to be unburnable, but like you pretty much can't use your shield in either this or the next dungeon anyway. And here I can turtle. I actually have never seen that movie. I just remember the commercials, and that was the one scene that every commercial insisted on using. But the turtle comes, turtle. Like, freaking, I saw that one scene like 100 times. All because it was in every single freaking commercial. I was like, I literally just said the word. Like, how did I forget that quick? It was just in like every commercial for that movie. Also, now that I've listened to the Lizalfos battle theme, like, because this place has no real music, like, it's playing in my head. Because all this place really has is just ambience. There's no real music. And so, like, I'm hearing it even though I'm not actually hearing it. So, you never know what will be around the corner in these narrow paths. See, targeting to always look in the proper direction. It's a useful technique, isn't it? That, I think, it's just rupees. Take rupees before you go. Darn it. Not having bombs sucks. Really? Freaking, I was half a second off. Oh my gosh, of course that one actually lands. Up, up. Alright, Lizalfos battle 2. No, when I was making that fan game, one of my playtesters actually was like, you know, like, he was like, I really love the Lizalfos battle theme from Skyward Sword. It's really good. But holy crap, when you play it this much, it does get a little bit tiring. Admittedly, again, I only played it during fights against the Lizalfos. But also, like, every other combat was combat with the Lizalfos, because I only had like 2 freaking groups of monsters that you would fight. It was actually real fun though, because the idea was that it was the World of Zelda 2. And you're playing the Link from Zelda 2. And so, because I was making an RPG Maker, I made it so that you were the Link from Zelda 2, and the idea was that you had finished Zelda 2 and were like at max power. Found the bomb bags. Bomb holding bags made from a Dodongo's stomach. Now hold 20 bombs. And so like, I put you just straight up at level 99 at the beginning of the game. You know, with all of Link's abilities and everything. And the idea was that you would get through, you would have to go back through Parappa Palace, basically. And I like made this whole map for Parappa Palace and everything too. It was really cool. Nope, I don't need Deku Seeds. Is there anything actually here? No. There's nothing actually here. This is only useful in a randomizer. Got it. I don't know what happened to the camera there. We'll just shortcut there. But the idea was you started in North Palace. You made your way through to Parappa Palace. And then you fought through a horde of, you know, Ganon's minions. Is it? Hang on. Is it like... The camera is being controlled by the C buttons, which should not be the case. Turn off free look. Maybe? I assume that would fix it. Yes, okay. Every time I pulled out a bomb, it was moving the camera. I was confused. I'm like, why is it moving the camera? Because the free look is set to the C buttons, I guess. So, anyway, so you were, you know, you were Link from Zelda 2. You went from North Palace to Parappa Palace. You fought through some of Ganon's minions, you know. The idea being in Zelda 2, you know, that they needed Link's blood in order to revive Ganon. And while, you know, you did save Princess Zelda in Zelda 2, and you got the Triforce and everything, like, you hadn't actually like defeated like Ganon's minions, and so they were like still around, you know. Also because there was a new villain that was controlling them, but you didn't learn that early into the game. But you would go through and you would like make your way through Parappa Palace, fighting, you know, like Ganon's minions and stuff. Frick. I don't feel like doing the block puzzle just to freaking get up there. So, I'm just like, frick it. Boom. That works well enough. Oh, I didn't even need to destroy him. Oh well. Where are we on Skulltulas? Oh, that's weird. The L button is not... Oh, right, yeah. Because it's probably... Yes, okay. That's the texture pack that does that. So, got it. Because that's what it is on the 3DS, I think, is the L button. And most people are going to, like, bind the Z button to what is the L button on their controller. So it makes sense. Anyway, but so you would get through Parappa Palace, which I've now said like 4 times, and you would, you know, you get to the end being like, okay, you know, one of Ganon's minions must be here, and I need to fight them and things, and what you find instead is Dark Link. Or Shadow Link, I think he was. Like, was he Shadow Link in Zelda 2? I don't remember. But you would find Dark Link. And, you know, Link's like, what the heck? You know, how are you here? Weren't you like a figment of the Triforce there to challenge me in the Great Palace? And Shadow Link is like, I was, yes. I'm not now. I'm a real person because my new master has turned me into, you know, a real person. And it's like, oh, what, like, you know, what the heck? Like, this is, of course, the first time you get the idea of, like, oh, somebody is, like, behind this. It's not just Ganon's minions in general. And he's like, you know, you know, Link is talking to him, and it's like, yeah, you know, my master wants me to kill you. You know, he made me as strong as you, yada yada. But also, in the advent that I lose to you, he gave me this power. And he hits you with an attack that saps you down to level 1. And makes you lose all of your, like all of your spells and things. You know, all the Zelda 2 spells. And it's like, oh crap, you know. And, you know, now that you've been weakened, he's like, haha, now, you know, now I can defeat you. Because, you know, I'm still level 99, you're level 1 now. And then Link gets transported out of Hyrule by a mysterious force. And she reveals, like, the mysterious force is this fairy named Lucia, who is just an OC of mine. She's existed for like 20 years now. I made her for freaking D&D like a long time ago. Well, no, it wouldn't be 20 years. 5th edition is only like what, 10 years old? Maybe 11 at this point. And I made her a couple of years before 5th edition came out, because we were playing 4th. In fact, I think the 5th edition playtest had already started. Even, so... But yeah, so like, you know, 10, 12 years ago, I would say, somewhere in that range, you know. But she is just one of my OCs. And so I was like, I can use her for this. It's me, Dorina! Well done! Wait, no, Darunia. My name's Darunia. And thanks to you, we can once again eat the delicious rocks from the Dodongo's cavern until our stomachs burst. I don't think I did that voice earlier. What a wild adventure. It will make an incredible story. I can't believe the Dodongos suddenly appeared in such great numbers. And that big rock blocking the cave. All this trouble must have been caused by that Gerudo thief, Ganondorf. He said, "Give me the spiritual stone. Only then will I open the cave for you. You, on the other hand, risked your life for us. Kid, I like you. How's about you and I become sworn siblings? No, there's no big ceremony involved. Just take this as a token of our friendship." No, I'll finish the story here once the scene is over. It's the Goron Ruby! And it's the original Goron Ruby at that! Wow, it looks so different, but also strikingly similar. Like, it's hard to see, but yeah, you can see that the little, like, middle shape there. Like, that is in this version. It's just hard to see. But it is there. That's cool. You obtain the Goron Ruby. This is the spiritual stone of fire passed down by the Gorons. You don't know what he means by sworn siblings, but you've collected 2 spiritual stones. You have 1 more to find. Sissa, you'll keep brushing up on your skills as you travel, won't you? You should go see the great fairy on top of Death Mountain. She'll power you up. Hey everyone, let's see off our sister. Hey, that mod doesn't disable. The text actually doesn't, like, disable. Doesn't switch. You did great! How about a big Goron hug, sister? I want to make sure that you know that you want to go this way. Because now you can get up the mountain. But before that, actually I want to go down the mountain. Because of this one. Then I can go up the mountain and hit the others. But this one's a Skulltula. I want to make sure I get that. Also, I wonder if there were people in the last episode that were legitimately wondering, like, is this actually a playthrough? Like, you know, like an actual Ocarina of Time? Like, Serene's not gonna, like, do something weird, right? And, like, I know that I said this is just a normal playthrough and, you know, I wasn't gonna, like, you know, pull out a jump scare or something like that. But, like, I could see people still questioning it, you know? So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if people really did question it all the way up to the end. But, I will say it again, for anybody who, you know, tuned into episode 2 and it's like, is this really, like, are you just doing a full episode and then you're gonna... This is literally just Ocarina of Time. Like, I do think it would be funny and kind of fun to do, like, you know, hey look, I'm just playing Ocarina of Time and then something weird happens. But, like, I would need somebody to make that for me. I don't know how I would make it. So, now if somebody wants to do that, then, like, hit me up, let me know. You know, we can discuss it. I can't guarantee that I can actually help. But also, like, at this point, you know, if I suddenly started another Ocarina of Time playthrough and was like, this is just normal Ocarina of Time, I think then people would really become suspicious. You know? So... But, again, there's nothing, you know, I'm not, like, doing any weird, like, jump scares or, you know, haunted cartridge or anything like that. This is just, I'm just playing Ocarina of Time with the Hatsune Miku mod on freaking Ship of Arcadian. Like, that's all this is. Frickin' heck. That first bomb should have done it, but then freaking it didn't, so... it's like, okay, well, the second bomb should hopefully do it, but then... Oh, that didn't freaking work either. You are way too slow, Mr. Big Goron. By the way, if you didn't know, that is Big Goron. Like, you know, he's, you know, much smaller. Really, though? Oh my god. Why? Like, you saw that, right? Like, it hit him, and it exploded. But it just didn't count for some reason. Gosh dang. Alright, you gave this, I'll give you this in praise of your courage. Big bomb bag. That's where you get that. Okay. I only, like, thought to even do that because you have to in the randomizer. I mean, I guess not have to, you know, sometime, but that is like a check in the randomizer. So it's something you can and should check. So backwards walk, backwards walk. Gotta get that speed boost. Even though it's not really like speed running or anything, and it's actually kind of annoying to do. Like, legitimately, I would much rather do this, which I know is also faster than walking. It's just not nearly as, like, fast. At least when you're counting, like, seconds. That said, freaking speedrunning is, like, people speedrunning stuff is, like, awesome. But it's made people, like, speedrun games that don't need to be speedran. I don't know how you would say it. And it's really annoying. You know, freaking, like, people in, like, let's say Final Fantasy 14, for example, will, like, get upset at you if you are a physical range DPS and don't use Peloton. And, like, somebody did that earlier. They're like, yeah, you know, like, well, why aren't you using Peloton? To the, like, bard that was in our group. And so, of course, he used Peloton. And I'm like, you know that Peloton, the speed boost that you get from Peloton is 1 second for the entire 30-second period. Like, if you use all 30 seconds of Peloton, you have saved literally 1 second. That's literally it. Like, that's as fast as it goes. If you sprint and you get all 20 seconds of sprint off. And I know these numbers because I've tested it, by the way. So, like, I can prove it, and I can even show you how to test it yourself. Like, the 20 seconds of sprint covers a 25-second walk period, or run period, whatever you want to call it. So, you are saving 5 seconds maximum if you get all 20 seconds of sprint. If you get 10 seconds, that means you only got half, which means you got 2.5 seconds. Welcome, Miku. I am the Great Fairy of Power. I am going to grant you a sword technique. Receive it now. It's like, congratulations, you beat the dungeon, you know, well, you know, that's 5 seconds for a single pull, right? Yes, that's 5 seconds for a single pull. Assuming that there are the standard set of pulls in a dungeon, which is 6. When you charge power for a spin attack, magic power will be consumed. Pay attention to your green magic meter. Hey girl, you're a messenger of the royal family, aren't you? Next time you're in their neighborhood, you should drop in on a friend of mine who lives by Hyrule Castle. She'll surely grant you another new power. One battle has made you weary. Please come back to see me. So if you pop sprint before you make the pull, so that you get the full 20 seconds because it registered you as being out of combat, you will get 5 seconds. Like, you will get to wherever you would have 25 seconds later. Like, you'll get there, you know, in 20 seconds. if we then factor that, if we then factor that and say, okay, you know, you can get to that spot in, you know, 20 seconds. You've saved 5 seconds for each, you know, pull. And, you know, there are 6 pulls, and you've managed to nail the sprint every time. You have saved 30 seconds in a dungeon. Which literally doesn't mean anything. Because you saved 30 seconds in one dungeon. If you then proceed to do one dungeon per roulette, and you do all of the roulettes, you know, you've got expert, you've got level cap, you've got high level, you've got leveling. Trials wouldn't count because you don't have the ability to sprint in that. You've got main scenario. You've got Alliance Raid. So that is 6 dungeons. I suppose you could also technically count Guildhest and maybe Mentor. But I'll be honest, I can't think of a single Guildhest where you're going to get the maximum of sprint. And even then, you're only going to get it once. You're going to get 5 seconds at best. You know? So if we count the 6 dungeons that you actually would get sprint, the full effect of sprint. And then we count Alliance Raid, which maybe you'll get sprint off. It depends on what Alliance Raid you're in. You know, like 6 dungeons. 6 times 30 seconds is 3 minutes. You're not getting even one extra dungeon by the time you've finished. Woohoo! Well, it looks like you've grown up a little from the Great Fairy's power. But you still don't look like the hero who'll save Hyrule. At least not yet. If you're going back down the mountain, I can lend you a wing. Come here and grab my talons and hold on tight. Woohoo! Like, you're literally not getting even one extra dungeon out of that. You are getting 6 minutes maximum saved. An extra dungeon is going to take you 15 minutes minimum. Like, you're literally not getting an extra, you're not even getting an extra dungeon out of it. I'm sorry. Like, you're getting nothing out of it. 3 minutes means nothing. Like, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You know? That 6 minutes means nothing in terms of, you know, doing content in Final Fantasy XIV. You're not getting any extra content that day just because you sprint through every dungeon. The first curse has been broken! Ah, adult wallet. Cool. I need one more Skulltula, unfortunately, to get the next one. Because I'm at 19. So, I don't know of any additional Skulltulas that I can get immediately. I suppose I could go to Lon Lon Ranch. And there's a couple Skulltulas I can get. Maybe? there is at least one. And it would get me a Epona song. Which doesn't really do anything until much later in the game, but still. But also I can get my second bottle, and that's something that I've just realized that I've been missing. And in fact, I was confused because I hadn't gotten 2 bottles yet. And that's why, because I didn't go to Lon Lon Ranch. Usually I do Lon Lon Ranch immediately after the castle, but I forgot. Instead I went to Kakariko right away. So, you know, that didn't really help. Hey look, sticks from the tree. Lon Lon Ranch. But yeah, all of that to say, freaking, you don't need to speedrun dungeons. I have no problem with big poles. If you want to sprint through the dungeon, you can. I'm not gonna. Like, you're not saving any extra time. Huh? I'm awake already. What? Well, I'll be, if it ain't the forest kid from the other day. By the way, thanks a lot for waking me up. Took some doing, but I finally got Melon back in a good mood. So what are you up to today? Got some free time on your hands, you say? Well, how about a little game? Now, these 3 Cuckoos I have here are special super Cuckoos. I'm going to throw these Cuckoos into that there gaggle of normal Cuckoos. You can pick out these 3 special birds from among normal Cuckoos within the time limit. I'll give you something good. Can't find them, I win. It'll be 10 rupees. I'll play. 30 seconds. Alright then, get ready. Here go the super Cuckoos. Start looking. That's one of them. Keep it up. Keep it up. 2 more to find. All of the Cuckoos over here have merged. Hey! Golly, I'll be darned. It's plumb incredible. That's the last one. You found them all. Come on over here. Hey, you've got the talent to be one of the world's best cowgirls. How'd you like to come work for us, huh? Sure. I was just kidding. Just kidding. Think you're a little young for that, aren't you? Aw, that's cute. They changed that. So it's not, you want to marry Malin, it's, you want to come work for us? I actually like that change. So, that, you know, again, that's the mod. The, what the freaking, what was it called again? Pronoun, female pronouns. So, that came from that. Oh, proud to present to you a sample of our very own Lon Lon milk. You'll be energized the moment you drink it. After you drink it, you bring back the bottle and buy a refill anytime you want. You got Lon Lon milk. Hooray, I got the milk. I have my second bottle now. And there's a tree right here. There's a skull in it. And that's 20. And then I can never remember if it's on the ins. Like there's one. There are 2 back here. One as adult and one as child. And I can never remember which one is which. So the adult one is on the inside. The child one is on the outside. Which is what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember. So, and of course there's that one over there that I can't get without the boomerang. I might just go ahead and grab it. You know, that's what I've been doing. Of course, at some point, I guess we need to think about going back to the Deku tree to get that one stupid Skulltula. I made this way harder on myself than I needed to. Whee! Heart piece. It's like there's so little crawl space that like the game doesn't even get to like speed it up before you're out of the other side. It's insane. Go ahead and grab that because I'm pretty sure that's the only one that's up on like a high spot like that. Well, no, there's the one on the house, isn't there? I might just grab that one too and make it easier. I'll think about it. But I don't think there's any other Skulltulas as child here. Oh, it's the Fairy Girl again. How did you found my dad? How did you like the castle? Did you see the princess? Dad came out in a hurry after you found him. Oh yeah, I have to introduce you to my friend Fairy Girl. She's his horse. His name is Epona. Isn't she cute? Seemed like Epona's afraid of you, Fairy Girl. My mother composed the song. Isn't it nice? Let's sing together. Oh, cute Ocarina. You gonna play the song with that Ocarina? I have no idea if the Ocarina of Time looks different. Or if they use the same Miku, like, megaphone model. I would not be surprised if it just uses the same Miku megaphone. So. Woohoo! I'm up here too! Can I be in this cutscene? Miku! No. Oh, Epona, she's grown fond of you, Fairy Girl. Completely oblivious to the fact that it's all the song. Oh, Miku! I'm here too! Shut up. Normally, you would use the slingshot to get, or not the slingshot, but the boomerang. Hey, I can get up here with the hover. I didn't realize this was I didn't realize that the house was solid. Cool. I'm sorry you knows anything about the other spiritual stone. I'm good, Navi. Thanks. I'm good. Like, I know what to do. I've played this game 100 times. In fact, I'm just doing some side quests before we go to the freaking place. Because there's a bunch of stuff that I can do now. Back step, back step, back step, back step, back step, back step. Nailed it. It's rupees. All that for stupid, worthless rupees. And I did the back step and everything for it. Come on. It just kept, like, not working there for a moment. I don't know why. That said, like, nailing the jump, the side jump, not that hard, to be honest. Now that we have some bombs, though, maybe it's a little further over. There it is. I knew it was there, I just didn't know the exact. Ta-da! Oh, also there's still one more Skulltula here in Kakariko. Now that I think about it. Wow! What a waste! I mean, I guess I had 100 rupees free. I do guess I had like 100 rupees of space free, but still. Like, cool, 200 rupees. $24. I'm thinking about 24. I don't know what I'm thinking about 24 for. But I'm thinking about 24. Yay! Son of Agony! Or Shard of Agony if you're playing the 3DS version. If you're playing the PC port and you don't have Rumble, no fear. Because the Ship of Harkinian people thought about that. See? There it is. It's literally just the Shard of Agony system. Where it just pops up and beeps at you. So. Coolies. I got that done. I think there's only a couple of other things that I could hit. And that's mostly just like grotto stuff. I said I didn't actually hit this. I don't think I can until... Yeah, this is technically a boomerang. Sorry to anybody that, like, expected a legitimate, you know, like, I'm not gonna get the things until I get the boomerang. But freaking... meh. Like, this is how I do the freaking randomizer. You know? This is just how I do in the rando. And to be honest, I kinda couldn't care less. Or, yeah, no, I did get that right. I couldn't care less. Because if you could care less, then that means you care. So yes, I did get that right. Oh my god, Miku. That's the problem with side hopping, you really can't tell where you're going. But yay, spin attack now. Woohoo! Looks like you've gotten bigger and stronger already, Miku. Just ahead lies Zora's domain. The Zora survival of the royal family by protecting this water source. The door will... Sorry, my leg was just randomly hurting. So I was like looking down at like what the frick was wrong. The door will not open for anyone except those who have some connection with the royal family. Let them hear the melody of the royal family. Hoo-hoo! Voice mod really hates like voices like that. It thinks that it's microphone feedback. And so it tries to throw an error, but for some reason it throws an error and is like, I'm gonna mute the microphone, and then it fails to mute. Huh? That was weird, right? Like, that I threw 2 bombs, but neither of them blew anything up. That was weird, right? Hello, Magic Bean Dude. How about some Magic Beans? Here we go, 1 bean. Now that you bought 1 bean, now I'm gonna increase the price to 20. Because they're selling. Oh, now you've bought 2 magic beans. Now I'm going to increase the price to 30 because they're going to be quite popular. All because you're the only one that's actually buying them, of course. But of course, now that you bought another one, now it'll be 40 rupees. You have 40 rupees to pay? Oh, you've got 40 rupees to pay? Oh, then I'm going to increase the price to 50 rupees. You got 50 rupees to pay? You don't buy it if you don't buy it. I don't even know if any of that was words. Like, legitimately. I don't know if there were any actual words there. But, yeah. I've now got, what, 5 magic beans? And that's all I can currently get because they increase in price each and every time you buy one, which means that you have to freaking get, like, the last one costs freaking 100 to get. Well, that's what I get for not bringing the Kuko. Supposed to bring the Kuko, but often I struggle with the jumps with the Kuko, and so I end up losing the Kuko. But then I forgot that you can't actually make the jumps without the Kuko. Unless you're playing Ship of Harkinian and you have the bunny hood, which we don't have. Because I haven't done the mask side quest yet. Because I don't know if I care enough to do the mask side quest. Great. See, that's why, like, I regularly I don't bother with the Kuko. I just do the float. Because the first jump, like, you can't actually make it, even with the Kuko. Like, you have to throw the Kuko up and then grab the edge. But if you don't do it correctly, then the Kuko doesn't get up there. And then you can't make it up to the next thing. But ultimately, the point of carrying the Kuko is actually to get over here, where there's another heart piece that you can only reach via Kuko jump. Of course, if you're playing the randomizer, then who knows what the frick's over here. Yeah, you get freaking wrecked, Kuko. Can I? Nope. Not from here. Maybe from here, though. Yeah! Got him. Obviously, I could have also just, you know, jumped down and grabbed him, but it's fine. Hey, look. It's the symbol of the royal family. I wonder what I'm supposed to do here. Keep hitting L. I keep hitting L instead of Z. Trying to focus the camera forward, and instead I float. I think I'm going to stop when we get to Jabu Jabu, by the way. We still got a little bit before we get that far. But in case I get to that part before the 2 hour, I think once we get into the dungeon, I'll save there. So it's a fish! You can keep it in a bottle. Freaking 300 rupees for the Zora tunic. I like that they give you these shops, but you can't buy anything in them. It's like, what the frick is the point? It's like, you get to the spot, and it's like, hey, there's a shop here. It's like, awesome, I can buy something. No, you can't. What the frick is the point? Oh my dear sweet burger Riddle, where is it gone? I'm so worried. You know, because it's a big fat fish. Typing game, 20 rupees. Want to play? Give all the rupees I throw from up here. Give you something nice. You know, it's funny. Somebody in FF14 commented the other day, like, you know, I just want to continue the MSQ. Like, I don't understand why I have to stop the MSQ for this optional content. Because, you know, you have to stop and do Crystal Tower. Before you can get into Heaven's Word. And I think about games like this, where, you know, that's technically optional content. You know, that's a side quest. But in order to progress the story, you have to go and do that minigame. You know? Because you gotta get the silver scale. Oh, please take this. It's the scale of our kind. I almost did King Zora voice. And I was like, wait, no, that doesn't work. Because it's not King Zora. That's just normal Zora. And normal Zora is not big fat. Also, if people do like this, I might consider playing through Everybody's favorite Zelda, Majora's Mask. 3, why don't you get to go and play the Twilight Princess Linkle mod? My answer to that actually is real simple. Whenever freaking Twilight Princess PC port stops updating for more than 2 days. So I recorded that first episode of that. And of the Linkle mod. And I was like, cool, you know, like people should like that, and you know, I'll have fun, you know, playing the Linkle mod. And then I discovered, oh, the Linkle mod is actually out for Wii U as well. In fact, it's a Wii U mod that then got ported to the Wii version, it turns out. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, then I'll do, you know, I'll do the Wii U version, because I haven't actually played that version of the game, you know? So I was like, you know, I'll do that. So I'll play up to the part that, you know, that I was at, and then I will, you know, like start from there on the Wii U version. Like 2 days after I did all of that, the PC port comes out. And the PC port is like, hey, we support like all Twilight Princess mods, basically. If you have the GameCube version, like you can just plug and play, and it just works, you know. And if you have the Wii U version, you can plug and play, and it just works. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I download the Twilight Princess PC port, and literally the next day, there is an update to the PC port. We just fixed a whole bunch of critical bugs. Oh, cool. All right. You know, then I'll go download that here in a couple of days when I'm thinking about, you know, playing that. 2 days later, hey, we're putting out another update. Like, there's been like 6 or 7 updates to the PC port since its release. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm just gonna wait until there's a freaking stable build that isn't getting updated every freaking, like, other day. Oh, this letter is from Princess Rhoda. Let's see. She's inside Lord Double Double? That's not possible. I'm going to eat Lord Double Double would never eat my damn Princess Rhoda. Since that stranger Ganondorf came here, Lord Double Double has been a little greater out of gills. The evidence seems clear. Of course you'll go find Rudo. You'll pass through here to the altar of Lord Double Double. I'll keep this ladder, you'll keep the bottle it was in. Take it respectfully. Please find my dear Princess Rudo immediately. Zora! That hurt to do. Like, that voice was like, I was like straining my back, oddly enough. Like, I don't know. It was weird. Like, I legitimately felt like that voice in my, like, back. So, I don't know any other way to explain it. But also, I definitely did a drink after that. Whee! Splish! Because now I need a fish. What I thought about getting, but I was like, you know what? I give him the freaking letter, and then he gives me the freaking bottle, and then I just go from there. Excuse me. normally what I would have done is after that I would have done this, the fire, but I forgot that I needed to go back down there for the fish, and I realized it like as I was down there afterwards. I was like, oh right, usually I do that after because you need to go down there for the fish. Oh well. I'll just freaking go get the fish. It's whatever. Hey look, it's Lord Jabu Jabu from Oracle of Ages. Yes, Ages. Hey guys, did you know that Oracle of Ages was the first game? That's not. That's not. The Oracle game came out like 3 years later. But it's still funny. It's still funny to say, like imagine somebody who played freaking the Oracle series first, and then they play Ocarina of Time, and it's like, hey, look, it's Lord Jabu Jabu from Oracle of Ages. Again, apparently they put Jabu Jabu in Ocarina of Time. No, it's the other way around, freaking, because Ocarina of Time was so freaking big, they milked it with as many references as they could in other games. So, also I didn't realize that was only going to take like 2 minutes to get to, you know, Lord Jabu Jabu. When I said like, oh, I'll probably stop, I figured I'd at least get another like 10-15 minutes. You know, maybe get to like 1:45. It was like 2 minutes. So, I think we could just do Lord Jabu Jabu. It's fine. You! Who are you? I am Rudo, Princess of the Zoras. What? You're saying my father asked you to come here to save me? I'd never ask anyone to do such a thing. Water in a bottle? No idea what you're talking about. My father's worried about me? Hey, look. Here, she has scales over her boob. Here, she doesn't. I don't care. Anyway, I can't go home right now. And you, get out of here, understand? Of course, in this time, she's a kid. So, you know, don't think about that too heavily. But you can think about it with the adult version of Princess Rudo. Original Ocarina of Time didn't have the scales on her. Are you still hanging around here? I told you to go away. I'm okay. I've been going inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly since I was little. But Lord Jabu Jabu is very strange today. There are electrified jellyfish and strange holes around. On top of that, my precious stone was... But that's none of your business. Anyway, you, go home now, understand? If you're that worried about me, then I will give you the honor of carrying me. However, I won't leave until I find the thing I'm looking for. You'd better believe me. I do hope that if the whole, you know, they're planning an Ocarina of Time remake that's akin to freaking the FF7R stuff, like, I'm hoping they change this so that you're not carrying Princess Rudo. It's like, come on, like I get it. Back then, we didn't have the technology to freaking make it so that Rudo could follow you. Now we do. Like, this is a change that should have been made in Ocarina of Time 3D. To say nothing of freaking, you know, actually have no idea what I was trying to say there. But yeah, this was a change. This was a thing that they should have changed in Ocarina of Time 3D, and I will, to this day, firmly say that I do not look at Ocarina of Time 3D as a remake. Because even the creators of Ocarina of Time 3D were like, yeah, you know, we did build the game from the ground up, but a lot of what we did was just rewrite the same code. So that way we would get, like, you know, all of the same glitches and things. Because we, you know, we wanted to make sure that we didn't change Ocarina of Time too much. Because after all, fans might get upset if we change it too much. Meanwhile, they had absolutely no regard for freaking Majora's Mask. They're just like, eh. And then Majora's Mask, we'll just change like a bunch of stuff. It doesn't matter. Nobody actually cares. We'll make a bunch of stuff in the game worse. This switch doesn't look like you can press it down with your weight alone, Miku. Yes, I'm aware. That's why I have Rudo on me. But I also kind of really hope that the rumors of an Ocarina of Time remake akin to like FF7R. Like, I'm really hoping that those are the when Nintendo was saying like, oh yeah, we planted a bunch of like false stories in the company so that we could find out who was leaking information. Which, like, good. Frickin' get leakers out. Frickin' stop leaking crap. And also, if you're a news website, stop reporting on leaks. Frickin' nobody actually wants to see that crap. Stop reporting on leaks. Freaking, I follow my Nintendo news on Blue Sky, but lately there's been a lot of me just being like, I am like this close to freaking unfollowing them because it seems like every day it's, oh, this new leak. I'm like, stop. Freaking 90% of us don't want to see this crap. You know? Like, I don't mind spoilers, but like, there's a difference between, you know, I told you something that happened in the game versus, oh, I told you 10 months before a game is announced that it exists, you know? It's like, no, I want to be told, red slimy thing is gone. That must be because you cut the red tail. I've worked for the other ones too. I want to be told about a game being in development when the company that is developing it comes up and says, hey, we're working on. Stop leaking stupid stuff and stop reporting on it when it gets leaked. Nobody wants to see that crap. Also, 90% of leaks are fake. Like, just stop reporting on them to begin with. If we stopped reporting on leaks and stopped posting, yes, if we stopped being like, oh look, this leak just came out, leaks would stop. But people leak. That gets people to be like, oh, look at this thing that may or may not be real. That makes the leaks popular, which in turn makes people want to leak more because they get popular and credit. You know? It's like, look, I got to leak the freaking stupid thing this time. Haha. Nobody actually wants to see that crap. Get it out of here. Like, I understand that there's a small minority that are very vocal, I will admit, that like the leaks, and thus are very vocal about the fact that they like the leaks. That is a minority vocal, a vocal minority though. Freaking 90% of us don't want them. Get them out of here. Like, leaks are one of the things that legitimately make me angry. You know? Like, a lot of the time, like, I'll get angry about something, but it's kind of just like, you know, my anxiety acted up, or my depression or something. And it's like, it was a minor thing, and I'm really not actually upset. But, like, I still kind of get angry anyway. Leaks are something that legitimately, like, incur my wrath. Because, freaking stop. Freaking, yes, we do want to know about it. But we want to know about it when the company is ready to tell us about it. That's it. That's what I've been looking for. Put me up there onto the platform. And freaking stop leaking all the freaking Minecraft updates. Stop leaking all the Nintendo crap. Freaking 100%. Nintendo needs to find these people, fire them, and then make them pay millions of dollars in damage. I don't care who they are. You know? I don't care if they don't have the money for it. They shouldn't be doing it. You know? I know that's kind of terrible, but you shouldn't have done it in the first place. Princess Ruto got the spiritual stone. But why Princess Ruto? Oh my goodness, I finally found my mother's stone. I got very upset when Lord Jabba Jabba swallowed it. When I was feeding him, he suddenly swallowed me. So surprised they dropped it inside. But now that I found it, I don't need to be in here anymore. So, take me home right now. Well, one good example of what I mean is the specs for the Switch 2 got leaked by somebody. I don't know who. And you know, it's like whatever. But like, to me, like, I was like, look, we don't know anything about the Switch 2 until it releases. And it was like, people were like, well, all of the stats and everything have leaked, and I'm like, I don't care! Because we don't know anything until it releases. And we shouldn't know anything about it until it releases. We don't need to know the specs if Nintendo is not giving us the specs yet. There's plenty of reasons why they might be not giving us the specs yet. Yes, one of them could be that the specs are not as high as people might want, and there's some level of corporate greed, and they think that if they hide it, then, you know, they'll trick a bunch of people. But also, like, it might just straight up be that they're working on the specs, you know? That the specs have not been 100% finalized yet. Now, yes, when they announced it in freaking, what, March? And we're like, we're releasing it in June. Like, yes, by that point, obviously we know, you know, that whatever the specs are at that time, that's what's going to come out. But it doesn't matter. We shouldn't know the specs anyway if Nintendo hasn't said, because people need to not leak stupid crap. And so, like, there were a handful of people that were like, well, we already know the specs and it's terrible. I'm like, I don't freaking care if somebody leaked it. I don't know what the specs are. I'm not going to look up what the specs are. I'm going to wait until it releases, and I'm going to be happy with what comes out, because frick you, I don't need a 4K, runs 240 FPS, freaking, you know, like, I don't need that. Nobody needs that. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't need that. Games would legitimately be better if we weren't trying to push to make the most powerful system in the world. If we just made good games, we would make good games. But instead, everybody has it in their freaking head that they've got to have these super awesome, special, freaking stupid levels of graphics that if the game was 1080p and it had the exact same amount of content, nobody would care. It's simply because 4K, 8K, whatever, is just what games have to be now. And I'm like, no, frick that. Like, I don't even have a 1080p TV. My TV is freaking 720. Like, no, I don't need a 4K. Like, I have a 720p freaking TV, and I am completely content with that. Because I don't freaking need this, the stupid you know, it's gotta be 4K, otherwise I can't play it. No, you don't. What you want is a good freaking game. And if you actually let people make good games, you'd be surprised that you don't need freaking stupid, ridiculous levels of graphics. Doreen, you're also old. You grew up in the Super Nintendo area, where graphics weren't good to begin with. If graphics weren't good back then why do so many modern games seem to be wanting to emulate that? You know, why is freaking Undertale and Deltarune freaking NES graphic? Like, look, you don't need stupid freaking levels of graphics. You don't. You have convinced yourself that you have. I'm not talking about, you know, you specifically, obviously. You know, whoever's watching. Like, I'm talking about, you know, the specific people. Unless for some reason you really do feel like that, freaking... You're late. What took you so long? You're useless. I was just lonely, that's all. Just a little. You don't need stupid, ridiculous levels of insane graphic fidelity to play a freaking video game. I guarantee you there are plenty of video games that you would find that you like that are not freaking, you know, 4K. You look cool. Cooler than I thought you would anyway. Just a little. Well, anyway, you saved me, so I guess I'll reward you. What do you wish? Just tell me. Spiritual Stone. Want the spiritual stone of water? Zora's sapphire, don't you? Mother gave it to me and said I should give it to only the person who I will marry. You might call it the Zora's engagement ring. Alright, I'll give you my most precious possession, the Zora's sapphire. Like, can you play Final Fantasy XIV? Can you play World of Warcraft? Can you play any of these games that have been around for 10 plus years and still enjoy them? If you can, I'm sorry, you don't need 4K, freaking 8K, freaking 240 FPS, freaking whatever the freaking thing. If games weren't trying to push to the absolute limit, they could put more into the games, they could be more fun, and they could tell better stories. But instead, Final Fantasy VII Remake has to get a whole bunch of people angry because Adore's graphics wasn't freaking 1080p or whatever it was. You obtained Zora's sapphire. This is the spiritual stone of water passed down by the Zoras. Most precious possession? You don't know what you're talking about, but you finally collected all 3 spiritual stones. How about to see Princess Zelda? Don't tell my father. Also, this is not one of the things that legitimately angers me. Like, I'm sure somebody's going, you know, sitting there watching, being like, wow, Serene's like really angry. It's like, I'm not, like, actually, like, super legitimately angry. Like, I'm annoyed And but unfortunately, that is my problem. Like, because of the situation that I live in, a minor annoyance can equate to me being super stupid angry over something that means nothing. So, and this is not really one of those things that, like, I'm actually, like, super angry over or whatever. This is just one of those things that I'm like, it's dumb. Like, it's dumb. Again, call me old, you know, I grew up, I'll tell you what it is. I grew up, I will admit that I did grow up in the 90s when you had Super Nintendo at the end of its life, you had Sega Genesis, and you had Nintendo 64. And PlayStation 1, I think, came out in that time period, too. I didn't play any of those. What I played in the 90s, up until, like, 98, the things that I played were Commodore 64 and, like, 1980s computer games. So, like, call me old. Like, you know, I grew up. I didn't grow up on 90s games. I grew up on late 70s, early 80s games. But, like, at this, like, still, like, think of it this way. I'm sitting here saying, you don't need all that, yada, you know, all the yada, yada, yada. You know, because, like, I'm old, right? You know, I'm the old woman yelling at clouds. In 20 years, when you're the same age as I am, because I'm assuming you're, like, 18 at most. In 20 years, when you're the same age as I am, you are going to look back at your 1080p and your 4K, and you're going to be like, those were the good days. Those young people with their 15K and their, you know, whatever, you know, 4-dimensional, you know, graphics, like, I used to play that when I used to play games when all we needed was 3 dimension. You are going to be in the same boat as me 20 years from now. You are going, I guarantee you that you are going to look at whatever the technology of the modern era is and be like, holy frick, like, this is beyond ridiculous. Like, there's no reason for this, you know, whatever the graphics are at that point. Like, because you will not only have been super happy with your 2K, your 4K, your whatever, but also, like, you will just look at new games and you'll just be like, what the frick, you know? And that's how it is for me. I look at these, like, hyper-realistic video games that are coming out today. I'm just like, a texture is slightly off somewhere. And everybody is, like, raging. And I'm like, I'm sorry. When I played video games, a texture, a pixel, a freaking, a tile, like, glitching out, that was, like, considered cool because something was broken, and that was awesome because you didn't see it constantly. I cannot stand when people say, oh, it went down to 55 frames per second. This game is unplayable. Freaking... And I've had to take a step back from watching Vine Sauce, especially. Because I can't stress the amount of... Like, I can't deal with the amount of times I walk into one of his streams and he's like, is everything good? Is it all, 100, 1080p? Is it 60 frames per second? And somebody in chat's like, no, it's not. It's 50 frames. And he's like, all right, let me spend 5 minutes figuring it out. Just freaking... No. Just stop. Just freaking stop. Just play the freaking game you want to play. You want to play the game, play the freaking game that you're wanting to play. You don't need your stream to be 60 FPS when you're playing Star Fox 64. That's a 30 FPS game at best, Freaking people can deal with it. Like, and again, it's not that it's not that this is something that, like, really actually enrages me. It just annoys me to no end. And things that annoy me to no end throw me into a rage fit because it's all I can do, just like daily, to not be angry 24/7. Freaking what's the meme from Avengers? What's your secret? How do you get angry? That's my secret. I'm always angry, Like, that's legit me. Like, that legitimately. Welcome, Miku. I'm the Great Fairy of Magic. I'll give you a magic spell. Please take it. Which one is this? Fours Wind? Yes. Congratulations, the most useless spell in the game. Show your courage by running away. There's a webcomic called Awkward Zombie. And I don't know if it's on their main website. But she used to post, the girl that does Awkward Zombie used to post to her DeviantArt initially. She got locked out of her DeviantArt account. And so then she just started posting to the website. But one of the, like, early comics, one of the ones that's on the DeviantArt, is, it's a picture of, the Triforce, and you've got Ganondorf, who's like, I have the Triforce of power. It gives me the ability to be as strong as I need to be. You've got Princess Zelda's like, I've got the Triforce of wisdom. I have the power to know whatever I need and, like, lead my country perfectly. And then you see Link and it's like, I have the Triforce of courage. That means that I have the ability to not be afraid to do anything. And they shoves the Master Sword into a toaster and electrocutes himself. He walks over to Zelda and Ganondorf and goes, anybody want to trade Triforces? Oh, that wasn't the one I was meaning to mention, though. Another Awkward Zombie comic, I believe, is Link is standing, getting the spells from the three fairies. And it's like, This is Din's fire. Use your power to annihilate your foes. Here's Nehru's wind. Use its wisdom to protect yourself in battle. Here's Furor's wind. Use your courage to bravely run away. I'm like, wow, that's so true, though. That's so true, man. Freaking, I love that. It's so great. That was the one I meant to mention, but my brain picked up the other one. But they're both funny, so. Anyway, you teleport to the freaking warp point at the beginning of the dungeon, wherever you freaking place Furor's wind, and that's literally all it does. It's just an escape rope, except that it sucks. Battle has made you weary. Please come back to see me. It's basically just it's basically escape rope. It just sucks. It can only be used in like the adult dungeons. And you can't use it in any of the caves. Not that there are caves really in this game. Which that's one of the things that I kinda feel like Ocarina of Time really dropped the ball on is, you know, they've got the grottos, but like, it freaking took until Tears of the Kingdom to get freaking caves back. You know, one of the staples of early freaking Zelda games. And like the Game Boy titles and like like all the handheld titles practically. And freaking, but like, nah. Like, but Ocarina of Time didn't do caves, and we're always trying to emulate Ocarina of Time in some way, because everybody freaking thinks that Ocarina of Time is the single best video game ever, even though it is one of the most flawed video games ever released. It's okay for a game to have flaws and still like it, yes. I will 100% agree with you. You know? Like, that's perfectly fine. But a game as flawed as Ocarina of Time can be... A game as flawed as Ocarina of Time can be liked. You know? But you can't call it a perfect game or a masterpiece or, you know, whatever freaking people call this freaking game. Well, that's interesting. I mean, that's what it looks like even in the original, too. That's weird. Look at this. You're gonna tell me that this doesn't look like dirt? And again, I'm not one that cares for graphics. I will say this again and again. But these still freaking look like sin. Like, I'm not bothered by the fact that they look like sin. And that they look kind of bad. But if somebody comes up to me and is like, "Oh, Ocarina of Time, it looks so good," I'll step up straight and be like, "You freak, Ocarina of Time looks good?" They go, "What Ocarina of Time are you playing?" I don't know any freaking Ocarina of Time that looks good. Well, the 3DS version looks pretty good, I'll admit. The original, though, looks like sin. Looks like dirt. What's the line in Brentalfloss's song? In his Ocarina of Time that he did with Demon Tomato Dave. I don't remember what the line is. It's something like, you know, it looks like poo. You know, Super Mario 64 came out 2 years before, but it looks like better, way better. It's all true, like 100%, all of it's true. I have no remorse about saying it. Like it's true. I still like the game. You know, it wouldn't make my top 10 of Zelda games. It would make my top 20. But also I'm pretty sure that there's only like 22 Zelda games out now. So that's not, you know, that high of an accomplishment. Boop, 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 boop. I'm missing 2 songs, Sun Song and Song of Time still. But I can still get rupees and then turn rupees in for Magic Beam, so. But yeah, I think that's all the songs I can play for them right now. And that gets me to 198 rupee. And then, so I'll be able to buy like 2 Magic Beans. One at 70 and one at 80. Something like that. Or maybe I'm already past the 71. What am I at? 6? Okay, so yeah, I've already purchased 70. So I might get the 80 and I get the 80 and maybe the 90. But then I don't have enough to get the last one. Yeah, I have enough to get the 90. Well, maybe my only customer that actually been buying these things, but let me tell you, they're freaking expensive now because you've been buying them. Somebody feel free to try and transcribe that. I'd love to see what the frick that was supposed to say. I'd love to see what the frick that was supposed to even say. I don't even... Like, I was the one that said it, and I don't even know what it freaking was. I'd love to see what somebody thinks that was. You get the magic beans. I give you magic beans. You take away 100 rupees to get the last magic beans. You're not getting 100 rupees with that magic beans. Voice Mod is having an absolute cow over that voice. Like that's what that is. It's that bloom bloom, you know. That's freaking Voice Mod freaking out because it thinks that I'm got some kind of freaking mic feedback. It's like, no, that's just what I'm saying and doing. That's just all it is. It's not some kind of feedback loop or anything like that. I'm just making a stupid voice saying literal nonsense. I mean, I could get 100 rupees by going to the freaking thing. So, I guess we'll just get this scene. We'll go get the 100 rupees. Then we'll go buy the last magic bean. And then from there, we can continue next stream. Or video, whatever. The next time I record... Hello, kitty cat. what can I do for the kitty cat, huh? The kitty cat has come to sit on the arm of my chair because the kitty cat wants something. The kitty cat wants food, that's what it is. Yeah? You've got a full bowl of food, cat. Kitty cat always begging for food, despite the fact that she has food in her bowl. There you go. I put the food back into the container and then give it back to you. So now you can go eat it. Because that makes you think it's different food for some reason. Ah, I lost her. You over there, little kid. You must have seen the white horse gallop past just now. Which way did it go? Answer me. So you think you can protect them from me? You've got guts, kid. Look, I just won 100 rupees, okay? You want a piece of me? Very funny. I like your attitude. Trying to, like, channel Mark Mercer. Because, you know, he's the voice of Ganondorf now, so. Pathetic little fool. Do you realize who you are dealing with? I am Ganondorf, and soon I will rule the world. Voicebot hated that. By the way, there's nothing I can do about that. I have literally disabled every single setting that has anything to do with the freaking, like, volume feedback thing. And it still does it. So, there's literally nothing I can do about it. You found the Ocarina of Time! It's the royal family's hidden treasure, which Zelda left behind. It glows with a mystical light. Oh yeah, I suppose I did just get the Song of Time. So I could get 50 rupees. Miku, can you hear me? It's me, Zelda. Miku, when you hold this ocarina in your hand, I won't be around anymore. I wanted to wait for you, but I couldn't delay any longer. At least I could leave you the ocarina and this melody. This song opens the door of time. It's so nice having an actual N64 controller and not having to deal with the freaking C-stick registering wrong. You've learned the Song of Time. It's the Song of Time. That's how Makuta says it in I think it's the second movie. He's like, I want the mask of time. Now, Miku, play this melody in front of the altar in the Temple of Time. You must protect the Triforce. Bakama. Give me the mask of time. I don't know who does the voice of Makuta, but it is fantastic. Like, whoever does the voice of Makuta in the freaking first 3 Bionicle movies Well, first two, I guess. I don't know that Makuta has any voiced lines in the third one, since he's frozen in protodermis the entire time. But still. Also, they came up with the whole protodermis thing, like, in between the, like, first and second movies. Like, and the reason I say that is because if you read the Mask of Light novel, the protodermis that is in the first movie in Mask of Light is referred to as Mercury the entire novel. And then immediately after that, like when you go into the Web of Shadows novel, literally the very next novel in the novels, like the full novel, like parts of the story, like immediately they're like protodermis. So it's like somewhere after they had finished Mask of Light and before that they started like Web of Shadows, not Web of Shadows, but whatever the second one is called. Web of Shadows is the third one, actually. But yeah, whatever the second one is called, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, immediately, like, at the beginning of the second novel, immediately, like, at the beginning of the novel for the second movie, they're like, you know, Vakama looks out across the sea of protodermis. Like, it's like one of the first, it's one of the sentences on, like, the first page. And so it's like, okay, I see. Like, somewhere in there, you know, sometime between, they were like, wait a minute. Let's make this, like, this sentient, you know, thing that protodermis, you know, becomes in the stories. So... It's a lot better to buy. You really want to make it for 100 rupees. Thanks. Freaking 100 rupees. How much is that altogether? Anyway, that's like, it's gotta be like 400 to 500 rupees altogether, right? Because, like, it's, you know, 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 550. It's 550 rupees to buy. Oh, also, I was using the numpad. So every time I type 5. Well, I guess I only typed 5 once, didn't I? Because I was... hit it for 50 and then that was it. So when I hit 5 in the 50, it reset my avatar because numpad 5 makes me, it snaps my avatar forward. So just in case, you know, and I just have that set up in case, you know, anything bugs out. And it's like, oh no, you know, I'm looking like this way, or my avatar's looking that way, you know. I don't feel like dealing with freaking nighttime. Hey, didn't we just finish closing the gate? Isn't that weird? Like, we just finished closing it and the sun's already back up. Nah, it just took all night to close the gate. I don't know, something probably malfunctioned. It's fine. Why don't we feel any more tired, even though it's the next day? What? Uh-oh. A customer. Welcome to our cutting-edge amusement center, Palm Tree Bowling Alley. Want to know what you can win? Well, it's a secret. Can't tell you until you've paid to play. 30 rupees. I don't have enough rupees. Ow, frickin'. Cheats. Infinite money. On off. You don't want to watch me freaking run in there and collect 1,000,000 rupees again for the freaking 50th time. Aim for the hold center and let Bomb Tree go. Get 10 tries. Let's bowl. Here's what you win. 50 rupees. Really? Good. I love that I've been playing this game since freaking 2001. And I still can't figure out how the bomb shoes work. I didn't mean to do that, but then I started doing it. See, this is why I have no problems removing the freaking center, the two Cuckoos, because freaking I can't even beat it without them there half the time. Like, I have no problem being like, nah, get rid of them. Wanna play again? I almost forgot, because we can win. Bomb chew time! Really? It took the second to get the bomb chews? Like, it's the second prize for the bomb chews? Like, for real? What the frick happened? Oh my god. Go, Polybrion! Go! That is what the mod is called, by the way, is Polybrion. Because he's a polygonal Umbreon. Hooray! You got an item that's technically useless until the very last dungeon. And then it's necessary for a single puzzle. And then it becomes useless again. It's so dumb. Again, it's so dumb. Oh, one last thing before I end the recording. And like, I came here and immediately forgot what it was that I was trying to, like, do. And that's why I went to the Bomb Chew Alley. But, I remember now. I wanted to get Din's Fire before we end it off. So, let's go grab that. We'll get thrown out of the castle like always. And then that's where we'll end things at for this video. So I guess, you know, I can just start the freaking outro while I'm doing this. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. You know I went on the little mini rant there. Not so mini rant, but, you know, the little mini rant. You know. But it, you know, it is what it is. I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah. If you liked, feel free to subscribe. There should be a playlist for more of this. Feel free to check that out. Din's fire! Din's fire not only to attack, but also to burn things. Paddle has made you weary. Please come to see me. There's definitely nothing wrong with giving a child the ability to burn everything in a freaking radius around her. Nah, that's... Nothing bad could possibly come of this. I've never actually used the Din's fire. Well, that's great. That's freaking amazing. I love that she did that. I love the sound that she made there. But yeah, check the playlist. There's probably more. Normally I stream over at twitch.tv/SereneInc. But right now I'm moving, so I'm doing a bunch of pre-records in the little period that I have, in the small periods of reprieve that I have during the day to, you know, sit down and do something other than back-breaking labor as we're trying to freaking move everything. It's miserable. But yeah, twitch.tv/SereneInc. Come on out if you want to see me stream live. And I will see you all next time. See you later. I got a million things in the way.